Hello. In this topic, we earlier discussed the meaning and processes of HRP. Let us now discuss the factors that affect human resource planning. Well, HRP is influenced by several considerations. The more important of them are type and strategy of organization, organizational growth cycles and planning, environmental uncertainties, time horizons, type and quality of forecasting information, and labor market. Now let us discuss these in detail. To begin with, type and strategy of organization. Well, the type of organization is an important consideration because it determines the production processes involved, the number and type of staff needed, and the supervisory and managerial personnel required. For example, manufacturing organizations are more complex in this respect than those that render services. The strategic plan of the organization defines the organization's HR needs. For example, a strategy of organic growth means that additional employees must be hired. And acquisitions or mergers, on the other hand, probably mean that the organization will need to plan for layoffs since mergers tend to create duplicate or overlapping positions that can be handled more efficiently with fewer employees. Well, primarily, the organization decides either to be proactive or reactive in HR planning. That is, it can either decide to carefully anticipate the needs and systematically plan them to fill them far in advance, or it can simply react to needs as they arise. Similarly, the organization must determine the breadth of the plan. Essentially, the organization can choose a narrow focus by planning in only one or two HR areas, such as recruitment or selection, or it can choose a broad focus by planning in all areas, including training, remuneration, and so on. Well, the organization must also decide on the formality of the plan. That is, it can decide to have an informal plan that lies mostly in the minds of the managers and personal staff, or alternatively, the organization can have a formalized plan which is clearly spelled out in writing, backed by documentation and data. Now, coming to the second factor that affects human resource planning, and this is organizational growth cycles and planning. Well, the stage of an organization's growth can have considerable influence on human resource planning. Like small organizations in the embryonic stage may not have need for personal planning. The need for planning is felt when the organization enters the growth stage. Here, the HR forecasting becomes essential. Internal development of people also begins to receive attention in order to keep up with the growth. And then a mature organization experiences less flexibility and variability as the growth slows down. The workforce becomes old as few younger people are hired. The planning becomes more finalized and less flexible and innovative because issues like retirement and possible retrenchment dominate planning. And finally, in the declining stage, human resource planning takes a different focus. Here, the planning is done for layoff, retrenchment, and retirement. Since decisions are often made after serious financial and sales shocks are experienced by the organization, so planning is often reactive in nature. The remaining factors that affect human resource planning will be discussed in the following video. Thank you.